Okay, well, warm up. So Dale wants to spend a little bit more on the warm up. Okay. I'll time us, but I'm thinking, I've written down like the moves that we generally do. Now, how long is your warm up supposed to be?
5-10 minutes.
So, well, 5 or 10, that's a big difference, right? So we'll do these for 5 minutes, so a minute each, which doesn't seem like a lot, but. And we'll do a little longer warm up and maybe try to be a bit more consistent with the warm up. So in April, I'm away a couple days. I have 2 kids moving home from university and a concert in Montreal and my national athletic therapy conference in Calgary. Wow. At the end of the month. So keep going. See, we're not in really yet. We're 15 seconds or so. So the Monday, the 27th, I think will be the last class because I leave on the Wednesday. My conference starts Thursday. And then, okay, shake that out. We will do the march and clap for a minute. And then 16th, it's a Thursday. I'm in Montreal. So there's a couple days there that I'm not here. It's a bummer, but it is. So,
Well, we got the Zooms.
you have all the other 10 ones, yeah.
Another, the repost some, Robin
Yeah.
repost some of hers.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a couple days there. I'm gonna go through the dates.
I have comments on what I'm looking
See, so the arms get kind of tired after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe the legs a bit more. Couple more seconds. So that's basically around 2 minutes so far. Okay. If we do the golf one, start now. Right, pivot, turn.
at. I liked doing this with the weight last week.
That was the wood chopper, right? Yeah.
I don't think those.
Do you do burpees at all?
I don't know. I probably did more when I was younger.
They're gauges.
But, I don't do a lot of the jumping stuff anymore, so. Because, and I know we're supposed to for all this bone density level, but I do enough exercise, but. Burpees, yeah, and I love, like, I do a lot of single leg squats and lunges, Bulgarian split squats and stuff. Yeah, no problem, but burpees.
You know, the woman who swam across, a cube from
Diane Nygaard?
Yeah, she does 1,000 burpees every Tuesday and Friday.
Oh my gosh.
1,000 in a row.
Oh, it's my
And then she gets shoulder problems.
Okay, so we will do this one for a minute. Exhale. If I'm doing an online workout and there's a burpee, I'll do them, but
Really?
I generally don't include them in my own workouts, no. My back doesn't really like the jumping.
It's really, it's a hard move, like it's, gets you really good for your back.
Well, you get the floor to ground, right, because you're on the ground and then you have to get up. So your heart rate variability is super good going, so. And you're using pretty much every single muscle in your body and you're getting a little bit of jump training when you do the jump. Well, you're supposed to do the jump. So, you know. Yeah,
That's all that.
so there are different. How many moves is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only 4. The one word that I like to do is sort of roll up, roll down, and like a wave. It's at your own pace, try to keep your heels, but don't let your heels come off. Because you're getting some good ankle mobility. We're around 20 seconds left. And last one. So that there, that was 5 moves for about a minute each. So you could repeat that, that gets you to 10 minutes, or you do another couple, depends on how long you want the warm up. I mean, I feel pretty warm, although the room is cold. You know, so it's up to you guys what you want to do for your, but you want something full body that's continuous and that doesn't require any jumping. So a burpee is what, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't do those.
Right?
I'm going to.
And they say the jumping is really good. Sometimes in a warm up, I'll do this one for a minute where I just kind of,
Yeah.
right, and it's a little bit, but for someone who has some knee issues, you might not even like that little bit, especially this concrete floor is not doing ourselves any. Maybe on that, on the mat would be better.
It's probably good too for.
Yeah, a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mama, before.
You can have a dead, sort of dead arms, like the claw. The golf swing, you get some twisting,
Yeah.
because you're rotating around, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
So those are the sort of key, like when I warm up. I mean, warm up is very, yeah. I never used to warm up. Now I warm up. I never used to. Okay, we're starting sitting down.
On the mat?
Yeah, on the mat. So, we've done all kinds of variations of rows. I'm running out of ideas. But we're gonna do sitting rows. So this way your heels are in. And you're gonna get some ab workout as well. Okay? So we're gonna try, so you're a little bit leaning back and you're rowing like that. Now the other option is we go forward a bit and we row like that over. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I bring those weights out, that's gonna be hard at my weight. I can lower the weights. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna lean forward and not fully straighten out my arms.
Okay.
But this part's really important. When we get here, really squeeze. So you're gonna get some core, some hip flexor. Try to keep your body as upright as possible, like in terms of your spinal curve. Don't be like that. Try to be nice and tall. I actually feel pretty warm after that.
Me too. I've only got a long sleeve shirt.
I wanna try something, so you guys don't have to, but because I have sevens, you can try that, but that's more shoulder and abs. It's actually a good exercise, but I'm trying to get the rowing action with the abs. What I mean? Yeah. I don't know when we started. Are we good? Does that feel like enough?
I'm just playing around.
Yeah,
I've lowered my weights.
I think if I had tried, I might be able to stretch my arms out more. Yeah. And like that, and really squeeze. Make sure when you squeeze, you're not having your shoulders up here. Shoulders should be down, so you're not using the traps. Squeeze. Yeah, the thighs are, I can actually straighten out my arms and then do it. But the goal is to really feel that squeeze while your abs are on, yeah? Okay, and to follow up, I'm actually warm enough to take this off, which I never had in here. Okay, now, we are gonna do, Russian twists. Only use one weight. We haven't done this before. You don't need a weight here, if you don't wanna use it, and you can have one foot up. Alternate, you can have both feet up just for a second or two, so just play with it. But the idea is, this is the exhale, the ringing out. Right? Exhale and ring out. So you can alternate each, so this is not about doing it quickly. Nice and slow and controlled. I'm gonna lift up both of you and see what that looks like. That is significantly more difficult, especially after what we just did. So I did stack these like this on purpose. So we get a little more workout. About 20 seconds left, we get 2 minutes. We'll lay down and stretch it out. The next two were chest. And that's a minute. Okay. Come on down, stretch it out a bit. Take a few breaths. Nice big, deep breath. Shake out your wrists and your hands. So I have push-ups next as a variation of whatever you want to do. So you could do modified on your knees. You could do one knee. You could do your standard push-ups. You can have your hands on your weights like this, like you've done before, so that your wrists, you don't have to have your hands like that. This is where those push-up bars come into play. But I've got a headspace so I can probably get it. Stay still. Okay, we're gonna do it for a minute. Obviously, you don't have to continue for the whole minute, so just play around with it. It's okay to take a pause, right? At any time, take a break. So I usually start where I feel the strongest, what I think I'm capable of, and then as I get more tired, I'll modify. The more narrow your hands are, that's more tricep, right? The wider your hands are, more chest. Yeah, there is no, okay. This is sort of, a very sort of standard basic exercise, and a lot of women really struggle with this because of upper body strength. Key things are, don't let your head hang, so you shouldn't be like that, and you shouldn't be like this. You should be as level, your head should be in line with the rest of your body. When you get tired, then you can modify it how you.
Yeah, I'm one of those women who struggles.
It's very normal though. Right, like most women can't actually hold their own, if you went to a chin-up bar. And you were to try to hang, not even do a chin-up, just hang.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've never been able to do it.
Never been able to do that, yeah. But you start with just the hang. And you just hang like that for even 10 seconds, and then,
Really?
I use those big long loops, so you know how I got the loop bands?
Yeah.
But at home, I have a set, I can bring some of them and show you. They're a long, thick band. And I attach them on my chin-up bar and then I put one foot in, so it's like assisted,
Okay.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you work that way, yeah. I've gone through phases, you know, where I can do a bunch of chin-ups, and I don't even have to do one right now, but. Anyway, yeah, okay. Okay, so
Ideally, how low should you be dropping?
when you do this,
Yes.
okay, so do it from this angle. Where I see injury is when you go past the 90 degrees. So that's 90 there.
yeah.
See when I go down?
Mm-hmm.
See how now I'm past that?
Yeah.
Back here. So I see, especially when you use these, if you have or push-up bars, watch. When I come down here, see how now I'm past?
Yep.
That angle?
Okay.
That's stressful on the shoulder.
Yeah, that's
And
basic.
So you shouldn't go too far. You're better off to stay up a little bit higher
Okay.
and work in, like in here, right?
Yeah.
You're better off to have good form instead of being down here and going like, you know?
Because you're getting the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not working, there's an argument made that you're not working the muscle through its entire range, right, when you don't. But that deep, I see a lot of injuries that way. Chest press, when people are lying down, like here, we don't have that issue because we're on a mat. So we're not on a bench where our shoulders go back like that when we're doing chest stuff, which we're doing next. So I would not go past the 90
Okay.
for,
Perfect.
for chest.
That I can do.
So working a little bit there, but when you get down in here, it's way harder, but you're a lot more susceptible to injury.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna do chest flies. This one is harder than chest press because of the lever, right? But see now I can't go past that, and I just hit the mat. So you don't wanna be in here, but you don't wanna be out here. Because that's too difficult. So you want a little bit of a bend. And the work is coming from this side, from your armpit here. That should flex. So when you do a fly, that angle, like you're hugging a big beach ball. Out. Squeeze. So I'll say to women like you're squeezing your boobs together, basically. Okay? Out and squeeze them in. Slow all the way down, like always. Squeeze. And you guys all have light enough weight that this shouldn't be an issue for this exercise. Out. So you do this off of a bench, like a traditional weightlifting bench. You have to be careful of your shoulder position. Slow on the way down, open up the ankle a bit, squeeze. So you don't want a really bent arm and you don't want a really straight arm. And your elbow angle doesn't change, good. It all looks good from here. And this is one of those exercises because the chest muscle that I want you to do reps until you feel like, okay, now I feel like I'm actually doing something. Okay? So for you, that might be 20 reps or 8 reps. It depends on your weight. So I want you to do them until you feel like, okay, I'm working those muscles. I hear it a lot from women, well, you know, when you wear like a tank top or a strapless, not that I'm wearing strapless dresses, but those muscles that sit right by the top of your strap, you know? Well, this exercise will help. Like if I had said just do 10 reps, you would not feel it enough, right? With the weight that you have here. So for example, at home, when I'm doing biceps, I'm usually doing 12 pounds, maybe some 15s. And then I'll stagger. But for my chest and for back, I'm using 25s or 30s. And I'm not a really big and muscular person. I'm saying you can do a lot more weight on these, but because we don't have those heavy weights, we're just gonna substitute in repetitions. Are you feeling it yet?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's gonna definitely be over a minute. But my point is, you can have a heavier weight there and be okay. You know? Yeah. When I do rows, I'm anywhere from 25 to 30, sometimes a couple 35, but not too much.
You do less reps on this.
Oh yeah, less reps, yeah. And I pyramid quite a bit, so I have them all lined up on a bench. And I'll start with the heavy, and then when it gets, I'll put those down, get some of the lighter, and work my way. It's called a strip set, actually. Where you're stripping the weight down as you go, you know? So, but I mean, I could never do a 35-pound bicep curl or tricep extension. But the chest and back are strong, so I'm trying to say you can have more weight there, okay? What's the next one? Okay, we are doing glute bridge. Okay, with knee extension. Everybody's wearing socks today? Yeah. We're gonna try a sock. Actually, let's try that one now. Give her a go. We're gonna try a hamstring slide. So at home, you can use a stability ball. And you can actually buy these round discs to slide your feet on.
I've never used them, I bought them and then.
Those discs?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know how well it's gonna slide here, but I bet you're gonna slide well on the concrete. So the idea is, when you have one of those stability balls, right, you roll out and you roll in.
Okay.
So for here, we're gonna come up and we're gonna slide. Now my feet are sweaty. I don't know if it's really gonna work, to be honest. I don't know how well we're gonna slide. I'm personally not really sliding. No, I try. You know what I mean? Let me try it with that. But this exercise is hard to pull in.
Yeah, I'm not sliding.
No, no, we're not really sliding on it. I'll try it on the mat. But that's what those discs are for, or the stability ball. But you slide. Okay, so let's try something else. So on your mat, we're still gonna do a hamstring. I want you to dig in with your heels and lift up, and let's hold. Okay, so this is not as difficult. Straight, try to bring your legs out just a little bit further. It makes it tougher. Like, not wider, but longer towards the end of your mat. Yeah. When you stretch out your legs just a little bit, makes it tougher. I thought I'd slide on soft feet, but not when you have sweaty feet.
You're really using our glute too.
Yeah. So let's come down for a second and we'll try some single leg. So you're gonna dig that heel in and you're gonna come up and let's try some single leg. So remember, the leg that's, the working leg is the one that the heel is digging into. Okay? Don't use the momentum of that other leg, because that's not the working leg. And when you've had enough on that side, just go ahead and switch sides. No one's had a hamstring cramp yet?
Oh, yeah.
She got didn't have a spot where we had stability walls, so we could try. I'm surprised we don't have any here. We don't. I have one, I don't use it a ton, but it is good for abs and they're good for hamstring. Okay, and now one more set where you dig in and hold both of them up. So we did a hold, and then we did single leg, and now we're finishing with the hold. Okay? Don't let your knees fall out. Keep them in line with the rest of your thigh. You guys feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, come on down. Woo. Stretch it out and bring your knees in. And then we're gonna do, so this is feet flat, up in a glute bridge. Okay, and you're gonna alternate knee extension. So it is a butt exercise. We're gonna get a little bit of quad work, but. And try to keep, if you look down, try to keep the 2 points of your pelvis level. You know what I mean? So try not to let one side drop. When you straighten out one leg, you can put your hands at the back of your neck and look, and don't let your pelvis drop. and just stop whenever you've had enough. Okay, but it's easy to do that, but then it's harder, basically, if you're not paying attention to the level of your pelvis. You know what I mean? All right, that in. Whew. Okay, we are gonna stand up for this next, it's 3 leg exercises in a row. Close staggered squat, single leg, Romanian deadlift. And I've written down suitcase squats, but we'll just do whatever variation is comfortable because some people, they don't have enough mobility to do suitcase squats. Let's see. So a close staggered squat is, use the chair if you want, but it's supposed to be like you're quite close together. Like that. And more of the weight is on that leg, obviously. Okay, right. You don't need weight here, you can just use body weight, but the idea is staggered as in your feet are staggered, okay? But again, depending on what your knees, and I could just go to here, come up, you don't have to go very far, but you should really feel the weight on that forward leg, the heel of that forward leg. Sorry, please, let's see, close stagger squat. Actually, can I feel the hamstring stuff we just did? Almost done. We're gonna switch sides. We'll do one more. Good. Shake it out. So when you're just walking around here, you should really feel it, not the front leg, okay? The back leg's not working, but not to the same degree. Okay, close staggered squat. Ready? Here we go. Exhale on the way up. And you can vary how far you can go. As long as your leg muscles are contracted, it's the same thing as you just won't be working it through the full range, but that's okay.
So is a
Suitcase squat is like this, narrow together, suitcase squat. Yeah, like you're bending over to pick up a suitcase, I guess where it comes from. One more. This one. Good. Let's put the weights down, give ourselves a good 30 seconds before we move on. So the next one, we've done Romanian deadlifts before, right? Really focusing on the back is straight. You're leaning, the weight is through this part of your body, right? Romanian deadlift. A single leg, and I think for those of us that have knee, maybe you don't want to do, you just want to do regular Romanian deadlifts with both. But a single leg Romanian deadlift. Like that. Okay, so you're up like this. And my knees bent to 90, you can rest on something. But the idea is, it's single leg, like that, okay? And you should, if your knees bother you, can just do both, just do double legs, okay? So same thing, you don't want to round through your upper body, okay? The weight, I can't stress it enough, when you're going on the way down, you should really feel the weight through your heel, not through your forefoot, through your heel. When you're here like this, feel that weight, and when you're driving up, drive up through the heel, okay? And usually you start off by not bending as far as you think you're capable of. So we start easy so we don't strain our hamstring. Drive through that heel. And then exhale. Slow all the way down, drive it up. Then as your hamstring warms up and you feel okay, you can play with your length of bed. Now I've had a pretty bad hamstring injury on this side. So I tend to be not as far. And I really feel it in my sit bone. You know what I mean when I say sit bone? Yeah. Your actual bone that you sit down on, your ischial tuberosity.
Slow it up fast.
Yeah. So for any squat, for any weightlifting, it should be slower, and then on the contraction phase, it's a little bit faster. Back straight, slide down, up. Is that enough on that side? A couple more. The more you dig in with your heel, the more protected your back is, and the more you're working your butt and your hamstrings. If you just bend over like that, right, a lot of stress, and I'm just lifting with my back. I want to lift with my back. I want to lift with this. Okay? All right, switch sides. Okay, so always have a slight bend. Not a super deep bend. Okay? So same thing. When you're here, just start off. And sometimes I even take my toes off the ground so I can really engage my hamstring.
The way you want your back straight is keep your shoulders back.
Yeah, and if right now we have a lighter weight, but if you had a heavier weight, you really have to dig in. Because if you have a heavier weight, it's much easier to, yeah, kind of like you're sticking your butt out and your shoulders are back. Good. Your hamstring muscles attach to your sit bone. You actually have 3 of them. And they bring your body to that. They also bring your heel to your bum. Slow. Power up. So you don't want to whip yourself up because you can. Right now, our knee is light, but hamstring injuries are really common. They're what the tricep is to the bicep. They're not as strong as your quads. So they're very prone to injury. I found. Most of us have tight hamstrings. Most humans have tight hamstrings. We shouldn't, but we do. Are we good? Is that enough?
So I wanted to try it. So when I did these at home, I never felt anything.
Okay.
But
When you did them there, do you feel it?
well, your explanation of keeping your weight in your
Slight bend in
heels
the knee,
really
weight in the
helps.
heels. Yeah.
So yeah, that
So you're moving your arms. Don't move your arms. Yep. I think you're bending your knees too much.
okay.
Yeah. Keep a slight bend.
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Okay.
Down.
Okay. Much better.
Don't bend your arms. Did you feel it in your hamstring there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the suitcase squats technically are like this suitcase. But if you're having difficulty, we could do suitcase squats with a little bit of quad. Do you know how we put our 4 feet on there? That would actually make this exercise easier, I think. On our forefoot, our heels. Try. Then you know what I'm saying? If we do a quad focused, it's easier for us to get down there.
Also the weights in the
Right.
in the
See
socket,
what Joanne has that width, that's perfect.
so
The a block, because the standard block is about double that width. That width is actually perfect for quad first. So suitcase squat is supposed to be more narrow, but again, some Marines don't really like that. Okay. So again, you want to be faster on the way up, but controlled. Slow on the way down. Now, it's very difficult here. This is the purpose of quad focused, is that it's for the front of your leg, so the weight is on your forefoot on purpose to tire out your quads more. Down and drive. And again, this is one of those exercises you can start at any distance. You don't need to be super far, but it does, once your knees warm up, it's easier to go deeper. Right here, oh, being elevated. Just a little bit outside. It's really hard, I can go as far down for sure. This way. Body doesn't bend like that. We'll go there completely. I think that's probably good. We've done more than a minute.
And then you check.
Okay. All right, let's take a couple minutes and we can start our quads. We're doing a quad stretch. See how this leg is in front of this one, like they're parallel? That's really what you want to aim for, not having your leg forward. It should, but when we're really tight, that's difficult to do. Other options are to do this, or to modify your quad stretch if your knee doesn't like to bend that way, okay? The next four are on the mat. Okay, we good?
Hi, Matt.
Oh,
Because they're mixing this.
yeah. Instead of bringing a mat or just, there's not here. Oh, I was there?
Oh, good.
Okay, so the proper name for this is a decline floor press. It's basically a glute bridge with chest press. Okay? It changes the angle a little bit. So you're up like that, doing a chest press. So make sure your legs don't walk out or in, they're in line with the body. And I think for me, I'm gonna alternate, I'm gonna keep my hands up here. So down. Notice when I come down, my elbow is out here to 90 degrees, not in tight to my body. Keep that pressure through your heels the whole time. Exhale on the way up. And if you find your weight too easy, too light, or you're talking about the chest, you can do both arms. Press up at the same time. Both are acceptable. So this is the same thing. When we start to get tired, you might notice as you lower the weight, your arms are shaking a bit. That's okay. Slow it down, work on your form down, drive it up. Touch, kiss the weights at the top of the motion. Good. Down. Makes it just that little bit more challenging because we just did 3 leg exercises. Staying in the glute bridge while we're doing the chest press. Again, you should do enough reps here that your body is telling you, okay, I think I want to work out today. And If your legs are too tired, just bring them down. And do another couple to finish the set. If you don't wanna have your legs up anymore, you can bring them in. So your butt is not on the ground. Okay, good. Do you feel like you've had enough there? Keep on going. All right, stretch our legs out, stretch our arms. Slide to the side, nice big breath in. Take a second here, you can bring knees to chest. What's the next one here? Okay, so this one is new to me. Trying to find some different exercises. We're on our side. And I don't know if I can do 7, so you might want a lighter weight here. Supposed to look like this, where your hand, and we're doing like that, the shoulder. So it is the lateral raise, I think. Okay, and you can have your arm probably down if you wanted to. You don't have to have it up. So this is really, you need to be slow and controlled, and it's in close to you, just like when we do, not out here, because then you're more likely to hurt yourself. So you slide up, bring it in close, contact. Close. That's it. No shoulder pain, right? Make sure there's no pain. So it's kind of like when we do a squat and press or a push press. This is working your shoulder, shoulders, yeah. So it's a little different way. It's not a way that I would normally do lateral raise, but I'm trying to keep thinking of new things that we haven't done. So now my shoulder's starting to feel it. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, the angle, I can feel it in the back of my shoulder. Let's do 2 more. Okay, and we're gonna switch sides. I'll go like this. And again, one arm might like it more than the other. So before I got a little bit of a right shoulder issue, so we'll see how this arm does it. Here we go. Control it in close to your body. I think it's good to have options. If you have a lower body injury or you're struggling to walk, or there's still lots of ways to do weightlifting that you can do lying down or sitting in a chair. What are you doing? That is about 35, 40 seconds right now. Starting to complain now. Let's do 2 more. Bring it in and down. Good. Okay, I'll stretch out our shoulder. You know, lying down where you bring it across your body. Like that compression, so just be careful. What do we have here next? Okay, I think we're gonna do the hamstring one first. And again, I've never done this, but I saw it online. And it's a hamstring curl. You're supposed to hold the weight in here. I don't know. I gotta try it. And I have not, to be totally honest, I have not tried this. And it's like this.
Oh, I have done this.
Have you done this?
Yeah.
So I use the machine at the gym.
Yeah. So the 10 pound, it's still.
So this is the same thing. The pulling up is pretty easy. It's when you bring down, control that down. So you're holding it there, yeah. Lisa's got it between her ankles, I've got it between my feet.
No, I think between your feet is better, because this is gonna slide.
It's gonna slide, yeah. So the big thing is really control that motion. And if on your way down, you can actually feel your hamstring is contracted. Okay, your hamstrings bring your heel to your bum, so they're gonna work eccentrically on the way back down. You know, when you're doing a squat, you're working your hamstrings, right? Any type of lunge or squat, you're doing this exercise. And it's more functional. You could argue that we're not laying on our stomachs, bringing our heels to our bum during the day. When we are walking around, moving around as a human. So this weight is probably light for us, so really focus on the slow return. That's where I feel like, okay, my hamstring's getting some work. Obviously, if you have a hamstring injury, I got ankle weights. I did single leg hamstring stuff when I had a really bad. You know, they're saying you're supposed to do sprint intervals to get your heart rate up. It's been a year and a half. And I couldn't sit down, even now, I was in a really hard stool, it was pretty significant. So I couldn't work out the way at normal, so I bought ankle weights and did very specific single leg hamstring stuff. How we doing? You feel that okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling it in my hip bones.
In the front?
Wow.
That means that they're tight probably, it's not, you shouldn't feel it in your hip flexor. So try tucking your pelvis in so that your pubic bone is making more contact with the mat. Anyone else feel it in different places?
My knee.
Yeah. Maybe you should just use like, so for you an ankle weight, perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
because then you just wrap it around your ankle. Yeah, exactly. All right, that means I'm probably good. And done.
I guess we go.
If you would do these, the internal and external rotation. Rotate your ankle, it's a good hip rotator. Okay, so the next one, again, I've not tried this. And you're gonna need a lighter weight, but it's up in a Superman. I bet you I can even use the 5 pound. It was here, up in a Superman. Still way. I can get like 2 pound yank. Let me just try one. I think that, then down, yeah. I think I could do one more. So if you have a really light weight, try it.
Yeah, I've got 3 pounds.
But the idea is you come up with a Superman and you press the weight out and back down. And I think I'm just gonna use one weight, out, in, there. Up, press it out, press it in, down. Yeah, so watch your neck position, don't, see that looks good, Shelley. See, Shelley's got her head resting on a blanket, so that's good. And she's using 3s, good, down.
I think even using 1.5 would be even better.
Yeah,
Because I'm
but you
finding
get the same, like I can't, with the.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Get on the sides of your stomach.
Up, press out, press it in, down. Up, press it out, press it in, down. You feel it in your stomach, Lisa?
Along the sides here, what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
When you bring it in,
Let me try.
I feel it back.
So lower your head a bit to make sure you're not up like that and lower down. I don't feel it there. Try.
See, without the weight, I don't feel
Okay.
Up. Yeah, it's pressure, but really it's supposed to be this whole, and your low back muscles are working significantly here.
it. Mr. Shelley's not working on, I can't do it with the weight.
No, I think the 5s
They're too heavy.
Yeah.
There are some lighter weights in the closet, so you want to try those. Some fives, but there's some ones as well.
Yeah.
There's a set of ones, if you want to try that.
Yeah, the parts are too heavy. I'm just gonna do a little bit of child pose, take the Parker off after doing that. Cause you know, we have to practice in first get-ups. Yeah. How's that, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to 2.5 work weights at home.
Yeah.
After 5, 2 seconds.
So it really does depend on what body part, and what position you're in. So. Yeah. Okay, so to finish, as per usual, you can practice the even is getting up a couple on each side. So remember, push off through that elbow. The weight's up, legs are down. And you push up and then I tuck that one under, but that's up to you. I think what Lisa did is you got to here.
Yeah.
And get up, yeah. And then onto the top. So push off that heel. Here we go. Good. One side is easier to do. Lots of water. What's that? A glass of water and you're all wet. It'd be good to practice with glass of water. Good. Switch hand, yeah. Oops. At least it does the leg cross, to get up and down. Yeah. It's a sign that your knees are in good shape.
Yeah, I don't have any pain or anything.
Oh, yeah, I think that's it. I had 53, almost 54 minutes. 153, yeah, I think that's good.
By the way, with all the energy I have to do this.
We can do any exercises you want now. It's warm. Yeah, I'm actually comfortable in this room, which I'm never in, all this way too.
Yes, nice.
Well, I purposely wore a long sleeve shirt.
It must be really cool.
I don't like to work out when it's like really, really cold, it's not, so the muscles don't get a chance to. I found it really cold in here. These last few minutes are whatever you want to do, that are particular for you. Particular to you. Okay, that's probably good for me because I have. Thank you.
I was thinking I was gonna work up this morning, but I'm going to let it talk.
See you Thursday.
Sometimes I do my own again, it depends on what I'm doing. Thursdays I don't, because I have 2 classes back to back.